everyone, I am Amanda from Mandy Lynn Plans. Welcome back for another video. Today we are going to be comparing the Wonderland 222 A5 2021 planner to the Hobonichi Cousin 2021 planner. A lot of people have asked me to do this video because they are very similar. They use the same paper, they are both vertical hourly timelines, they both have monthly, weekly, and daily pages in them, but they are very different. So the first most obvious difference to me is the cover. Wonderland 222 does have 3 cover color options, and it's just really nice to the touch. Hobonichi Cousin always comes in this exact same cover for the full year option. It is also offered in an avec, so they kind of separate out January to June and July to December in a different book, so that it's just a little bit easier to carry around. This is relatively thick and heavy since it has the whole year in it. You can see the thickness difference here, and that is just due to the number of daily pages, but we will get to that later. And they do both have Tomoe River paper. I find it's either a love it or hate it kind of a thing. If you use fountain pens at all, then you probably love the Tomoe River paper. If you like gel pens, you might not love it so much because it does tend to smear because of the nature of the paper. It is coated and the ink sits on top and dries instead of absorbing into the paper. So whenever you use a pen that has a lot of ink, it's going to just sit on top for a while until it dries. That's why it's beautiful for fountain pen ink and not so much for gel pens. Starting off here with the Wonderland 222, you do have several pages that are not available in the Cousin. So you have a key if you're wanting to do like a bullet journal type system, and then also 3 index pages. The reason you have index pages is because these pages are numbered and the daily pages in the back are numbered as well. So if you are taking notes from a meeting or something and you need to be able to reference those easily, you can come to your index and put them here. You could obviously, put washi tape over the index words and use these pages for whatever you like. And then you turn to the year at a glance, and the Wonderland 222 gives you 4 years, the previous year, the current year, and then 2 upcoming years. Where the Hobonichi Cousin, this is the first page in this book, and you get the current year nice and big over 1 page, and then the previous year and upcoming year. The next page in the Hobonichi Cousin is a 6-month over 2-page spread, the yearly index that you could use for several different things. You could use this as an index, as I previously mentioned, for the Wonderland 222 if you wanted, or you could use it to track your habits. I personally use it for my school schedule, so I put when we have holidays where we don't have school, or parent-teacher conferences, or days off, that type of thing. This is over 4 different pages, 1 page per quarter, and in the Wonderland 222, the same kind of spread is over just 2 pages here. The space for each day is much, much smaller, but you do have this great big notes blank spot at the bottom that you can use for whatever you'd like. You have the same type of thing here in the Cousin. I personally use this one for birthdays. Then the very next page in the Cousin is the December monthly, and we will get to that in a second. The Wonderland 222 has a lot more pages to offer, so they have a 2-page spread for each and every quarter. So you can be tracking your goals or your projects or your appointments if you like to see them out that far in advance. And then you also have a spread for each month for you to track your routines, your habits, your projects, etc. And then after the last month of those, you do have a notes page and a monthly overview page. Now this is different than in the Hobonichi. You don't have any notes pages here in between the months, and all of the months are at the beginning in the Hobonichi Cousin. The 2021 planner goes all the way from December of 2020, so you have an extra month at the beginning, all the way to March of 2022. So this allows you to plan a little bit in the future. And this one starts in November, and I personally went ahead and tested some stickers out in it. And then it's followed by the weeks. So in this particular planner, the months and the weeks are kind of shuffled in so that you don't have all the months at the beginning and then all of the weeks in the middle. But I do want to go ahead and compare a blank monthly page for you compared to the Hobonichi Cousin. The first thing you might notice is that this is very basic and minimal. There is a little bit of shading on the weekends, but it's definitely less than what we have going on in the Hobonichi Cousin. If I flip to any given month, you will see that all the Saturdays are blue, all the Sundays are red, and then the Japanese holidays have a red banner, and sometimes they match up with US holidays, but not very often. So that is true for each and every month. And you will also notice there's a little bit of Japanese. I am assuming this is just the number 8, the number 15. It also has the moon phases really small. There's a little bit of English, but not very much. Whereas in the Wonderland 222, since this is a US-based company, all of the text is in English. They do also have moon phases as well as the holidays at the bottom of each square. And then you have a previous month and a future month at a glance down in the corner. They are both Monday start, which I so appreciate. I know that it's kind of outside the norm here living in the States, but I much prefer a Monday start calendar, especially since the weeks begin with a Monday. It just helps my brain so much more to have my calendars start with a Monday as well. The only other thing I wanted to mention about the monthlies before we move on is the way that they handle whenever there is a 5th Monday or Tuesday of the month. The Hobonichi Cousin allows extra space at the bottom for an additional box whenever these days do occur. And it's a smaller box, but you still have a full box for the 24th. And so from the beginning, I've always really appreciated this in the Hobonichi Cousin. Not many planners account for that extra space, and that is true in the Wonderland 222. I appreciate that it is a horizontal split down instead of a triangular split. However, you are still shrinking the amount of space for each day. From a design aspect, I definitely understand you would have to make all of these boxes smaller to account for the occasional day down here in the bottom, and that is the choice that they made, and that is just fine. So next up we have the weekly pages. Now this is, I would say, the biggest difference between these two planners. Again, you do have some of the coloring, but really it's pretty minimal. And if you consider the shading here on the weekend, you could say that either one is a love-hate. Neither one is completely blank of any type of color. In the Cousin, you do have this little small month at a glance, and they have circled the week that you are currently on, which I appreciate. The Wonderland 222 for the 2020 year, I believe, had a little month at a glance here, but because of the way that they have a stacked weekend, it made Saturday and Sunday smaller, and so I believe the customers recommended that they take that away so that they could expand these days a little bit. Which brings me to the first big change between the two, and that is that the Wonderland 222 has a stacked weekend and no sidebar. You will see that on the Hobonichi Cousin there is a sidebar equally the same space as the days of the week, and so because of that, these columns are thinner than the Wonderland 222, even though they are both A5 size. The Hobonichi timeline runs from 5 a.m. to 4 a.m. for each day of the week, and the Wonderland 222 is from 7 to 9 p.m. during the week, and then on the weekends there is no timeline, so you could make this whatever you would like it to be. They do both have moon phases, and one thing that's nice about the Wonderland 222 is that it has printed for you April 26th to May 2nd. And then flipping to the daily pages. In the Hobonichi Cousin, there are 365 daily pages. They are dated, and each month is a different color. So easily flipping through here, you can kind of differentiate between the months depending on what color you see on this side. And because of the Tomoe River paper, they are able to put that many pages in one book. The Wonderland 222 has about 72 or 75 of these blank daily pages. They are undated, so you can make them for whatever date you want. They do have a 24-hour timeline here on the side, and then some lines here. The rest of it is grid, and here is the daily layout. In the Cousin, you do have the date with the moon phase, a smaller time bar, some check boxes, and then a bigger space that really can be anything you want. Both of these are very open canvases, and you can really customize however you need them to be. I hope you enjoyed that quick overview and differences between these two planners. I'd love to know your thoughts down in the comments. As always, thank you so much for watching. Until next time.